Good evening and welcome, or for some of you, welcome back to George Ball Court, the Sherwood Athletic Center, the home of the Whitman College Blues, as we're set for the second game of our doubleheader between the visiting George Fox University Bruins and the Whitman College Blues. Tonight's game being brought to you by Flow College, the essential destination for college conference partners in Division 1, 2, and 3, which packages event live streams and rich editorial content into one accessible product. It is the leader in streaming for Division 2 and 3 sports and the number one provider of women's sports at these levels, with more than 9,000 games slated for the 2025-2026 season. With Flow College, subscribers have the most comprehensive and personalized access to select college conferences, schools, and teams across all leading web, mobile, and connected TV applications. We appreciate Flow College for its support of college athletics. So after the Whitman Blues women's team secured victory over the George Fox Bruins, it is now time for the men to have their opportunity. Coming into this one is a couple of teams looking to find an identity and finish the season strong. For George Fox, they enter the game with a 3-18 overall record, 2-10 in conference. For the Blues, it's a 9-12 record with a 4-8 record in conference play. And we are going to go ahead and turn this over to introductions and get underway here in just a moment. So we are just about set and ready to go as introductions happen here at George Ball Court. We're going to go ahead and introduce you to the starters for tonight's game. First, for the visiting Bruins, the junior from Portland, Oregon, number 2, Dre Lawrence. The junior from Dublin, California, number 5, Donovan Cooks. The first year from Sun Valley, California, number 11, Sydney Nache. The forward sophomore from Flagstaff, Arizona, number 13, Jake Sentner. And the senior forward from Chelan, Washington, number 32, Corey Schramm. George Fox is led by Mako Hamilton, who's in his 13th year at the helm of the Bruins. And then for the Blues starters tonight, the hometown kid, sophomore from Walla Walla, number 30, Ken Higgins. The forward from Auckland, New Zealand, number 42, Jacob Fotu. The junior from Serbia, number 21, George Lazarevic. From Bursa, Turkey, it's the guard number 9, Ali Efe Ishik. And then from Pacifica, California, number 1, Marcel Eli Kagare. John Lamanna at the head of the men's basketball program, assisted by Ethan Ingeman, Sean James, Adam Berg, with student managers Jackson Unk and Sugu Batwai. So it looks like it's going to be George and Corey Schramm that are going to jump for the Blues. Whitman wearing the white uniforms with blue numbers and Whitman in blue on the front. The Bruins wearing the navy blue uniforms with a white number. So Lazarevic gets up higher, and we are officially underway as it's Blues basketball to get us going. Ali Efe Ishik dishes to Lazarevic. He's going to dribble around the top before going to Higgins. Higgins goes down to the post to Efe Ishik before going out to Marcel. Marcel back to Ali. He's going to underhand it to Fotu, who goes up and puts it in for 2 for our first bucket of the game. Dre Lawrence, the junior from Portland. Donovan Cooks, Sidney Nache, Jake Sentner, and Corey Schramm. Corey Schramm, rather, on the floor for the Bruins as George Fox turns it over, back to the Blues. Lazarevic zips it into Ali. He squares up, takes the shot, no good. Rebounded by Schramm. The senior from Chelan gives it up and going the other way. Number 5, Donovan Cooks, on the floor, is fouled. So Higgins picks up the early foul for the Blues. Just about a minute expired into this game between the Blues and the Bruins as it's inbounded. And the shot by Sidney Nache, he is fouled by George Lazarevic. So the Blues pick up 2 quick fouls. And now Nache will go to the line for 2. Nache, having started 21 of the 22 games for the Bruins this year, averaging 25 minutes a night, putting up 19.3 points and 3.8 boards a night, behind only number 5, Donovan Cooks, who leads the way with 19.4 a game. Noah Marte, the only other man in double digits per night, average 4 of the Bruins. As both free throws are good, it's tied back at 2. As now Marcel will bring the ball up and gives it over to Ali. Ali to Higgins. Higgins to George as the Blues swing it around. Goes down trying to run into the post. Ali gives to Higgins. Higgins back out to George Lazarevic, who knocks down the 3 to give the Blues the 3-point lead. So Cooks will bring the ball up. And he runs into Jacob Fotu. The ball comes loose, knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Bruins. As Jake Sentner will go inbound the ball, being guarded by Higgins. He gets it back to Cooks. Cooks looks back at Mako to get the play. And now he'll dribble along the left side. Nache fires the ball over the head of Cooks, trying to find him in the corner. And it'll be Blues basketball. It's Ali, Jacob, Marcel, George and Ken on the floor for Whitman. As the Blues get back into the half-court offensive Lamanna, as Ali goes up, misses the layup, but is fouled, so he will go to the line for 2. Ali Efe Ishik, one of the 5 seniors that the Blues will honor before their game tomorrow night against the Lewis and Clark College River Otters. We have plenty of conversation to talk about the branding and name change for Lewis and Clark College, but we'll save that for tomorrow as Efe Ishik knocks down the first free throw. Ali has been a stalwart, the senior from Bursa, Turkey, averaging 14.7 points and nearly 5 rebounds a night as he knocks down the second free throw. Last Saturday against Linfield, he became the 7th all-time scorer in Whitman College men's basketball history as Donovan Cooks drives it all the way in and takes it in to the hole for 2. It's a 7-4 game. The Blues leading the Bruins. Fox showing pressure all the way through as the Blues get it across the half court. Good bounce pass from Lazarevic. He goes to Ali, who quickly hands it to Fotu. But Jacob has the ball stripped away and recovered by Cooks. Trey Lawrence is the one that knocked it loose from Jacob. And we've got a foul called on Marcel. The sophomore from Pacifica, California, picks up his first, as now Cooks goes to the line for a couple. The junior from Dublin, California. a 79% shooter from the line. Came into the day 72 for 91 overall. As he knocks it down and cuts it to a 1-point deficit. Blues running the inbound as Ali dishes over to Marcel. The Blues getting their half-court offense. He goes down to Ali in the high post, goes over to George. George has the ball deflected away and recovered by number 0, Noah Marte. Marte's layup no good, but a couple of tip-ins, and eventually it is tipped in. It looks to be it was number 2, Dre Lawrence, that eventually put that one in the bucket to give the Bruins their first lead. So Marte is checked in. Him and Cooks, the 2 guards on the floor, as George Fox also getting a couple new guys ready to check in. Three-pointer from Marcel, no good, off the front of the rim. Fotu attempts to tip it to Ken Higgins, but instead ends up in the hands of the Bruins. Quick transition offense by George Fox as Sentner ends up missing the layup. Ball eventually goes out of bounds, and we'll see 2 substitutions for the Bruins. Number 12, Vanden Hurd, and number 24, Jamar Mitchell will check in. So it's Marte, Lawrence, Hurd, Mitchell, and Cooks on the floor for George Fox. As Cooks standing out by himself while Coach Mako Hamilton gets instructions shouted in. Now down to 10 in the shot clock. The handoff to Cooks. Three-pointer no good. Rebounded by Higgins, and Higgins is fouled by Marte for his first personal foul. The Bruins use a lot of different players that all play quite a few minutes. They have 4 guys averaging over 20 minutes a game. And another 5 averaging over 10. Zali Efe-Ishik will try and take it to lane himself before he dishes out to Higgins, whose 3 rims in and out, no good. Rebounded by Mitchell. Jamar Mitchell, the junior from Fort Collins, Colorado. As it swung over into the corner, held by number 22, Luke Tobin. As Tobin with the fadeaway pull-up, no good, off the rim. Rebounded by Efe-Ishik, who's going to push the ball in transition. And now Lazarevich will pull it back out, and they'll run the offense. Marcel with a good dribble move, goes over to George, down to Ali, who takes it to the hole and is fouled on the way up. So Ali Efe-Ishik will have free throws when we come back out of the media timeout. 15:46 left in the first half. It is George Fox with the early lead, 8-7. So George Fox with the early 8-7 lead over the Blues. But Whitman will go to the line for 2 coming out of the timeout. Donovan Cooks leading the way early with 4 points as the high scorer for both teams. And the big comparison for these 2 teams will be the ability to maintain an advantage in the turnover margin as Ali knocks down his first free throw to tie this game up at 8. the senior from Bursa, Turkey. Knocks down the second. And now Whitman on top, 9-8. And so for the first time tonight, the Blues will make a substitution. And coming in is number 33, Sarp Gökberk, the first year from Turkey. Donovan Cook's looking for some help, as Bernard Desi is also checked in for Whitman, as has number 14, Julian Witt. Cooks with the ball. He's going to dish back out to Marte. Marte drives to the hoop, pulls up, and knocks it down for the two-pointer that puts George Fox back out in front. So Sarp running the point. Fighting against Cooks, who tries to pick it from behind. Sarp's going to give it to Bernard, who takes the jump shot from the middle of the key, but no good. Rebounded by Cooks, who underhands to Marte quickly in transition, and Marte from three. So Noah Marte, the junior from San Diego, making his presence felt early with 5 points, and the Bruins now lead at 13-9. Sarp trying to get the ball down into Bernard Desi as the ball tipped and knocked away. And now we're going to see almost the equivalent of a line change. 4 new players in the game for the Bruins. Anthony Williams, Sidney Nache, Corey Schramm, and Jake Sentner back on the floor alongside Jamar Mitchell. Marcel will check back in. He dishes to Desi. Desi has his shot knocked away by Schramm, but foul called on the play. So Bernard Desi will go to the line for 2. Foul called to number 13, Jake Sentner, a 6'5" sophomore from Flagstaff, Arizona. So Bernard will go to the line for 2 as he knocks down the first. Entering the day, Desi with 15 for 28 from the line, so shooting 53%. We'll see that percentage go up as he knocks down both of his free throw attempts there. Blues now trail by 2. It's 13-11 Bruins, 14:27 left in the first half. Anthony Williams running the point. He's going to give it down to Jamar Mitchell. Mitchell backs it out to Sidney Nache, who drains the bucket. It was a long 2, as it's now 15-11. Sarp goes to Marcel. And Marcel will set up the offense. He flings it to George Lazarevic, being guarded by Mitchell. George will take it all the way to the hoop, but it sits on top of the rim and eventually rolls off. Rebound by Sentner. Pushing it quickly in transition. Wide open look for Sidney Nache, no good, but rebounded by Schramm. Guarded by Desi. He'll back it out. He kicks it to Williams. Anthony Williams was looking for a spot to take it in, but then backs it out. Now tries again. Goes baseline and zips it over to Sentner, whose three-pointer off the rim, off the top of the backboard, and out of bounds. Xavier Santana, the first year from Clarkston, Washington, just up the road a little bit, will check in for the first time tonight, as will Ali Efeishik. Checking in for the Bruins, number 2, Dre Lawrence, will take the floor once again. As the Blues get the inbound in. Fox playing a full court man-to-man. As Santana has the ball, he'll whip it over to Sarp. Goes back out to Xavier. Lamanna, Blues head coach John Lamanna, trying to get the team to get moving in the set offensively, as Marcel's attempted layup against Jake Sentner, no good. Sentner with the rebound. Pushing it in transition. Ball zipped out. And now backing it up, Sentner will take the 3 from the outside. No good, off the corner rim. Rebounded by Efeishik. A little bit of a faster pace here for the men's game than we saw in the women's game earlier. 15-11, 12:48 left in the first half. As that ball is attempted pass by Sarp down to Ali Efeishik is intercepted. And taking it the other way, Sidney Nache completes the play and dunks it home for 2. So the Bruins now have extended the lead out to 6 as Santana bounces it into Desi. Bernard Desi trying to back down Schramm and has the ball pickpocketed going back the other way again in transition. Anthony Williams tries to oop it to Sentner, no good. The attempted dunk home there by Nache, no good. Blues trying to outlet it, and the ball intercepted by Dre Lawrence, who then takes it to the hole and lays it in. And Coach John Lamont, not happy with his crew, he's going to call a timeout with 12:06 left in the first half. So now 19-11, the Bruins have taken the lead over the Blues. And fans, we want to remind you that both basketball teams will play their regular season home finales tomorrow right here at the Sherwood Center. The women's team does not have any seniors, so not a traditional senior day. But for this men's team, they'll honor their 5 seniors in a special pregame ceremony. You can visit www.whitmanblues.com for game times, viewing options, and ticket information. The women's game is set to start at approximately 3 o'clock. The men's game is set to start at approximately 5 o'clock. Now, of course, that will depend on everything timing out and no extended stoppages, etc. But so 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. Pacific time expected starts for tomorrow's conclusion to the regular season home basketball schedule. Now, the Blues will be on the road next weekend in what will prove to likely be critical games, especially for the women's team, as the women, with their win today, remain in second place. But they will head to Tacoma and play the Pacific Lutheran University Lutes and the University of Puget Sound Loggers next weekend. And that game against Puget Sound could end up determining the difference between the 2 seed and the 3 seed for the women in the Northwest Conference Tournament, even potentially whether or not they get the 1. So now we'll resume action under 12 minutes as the Blues trail by 8. Ali Efe-Ishik kicks the ball up the baseline and lays it in to make it 19-13 George Fox. Quickly back in transition, Anthony Williams trying to push the effort, being guarded by Xavier Santana, the first year. As the ball is deflected away, goes out of bounds, and will stay with the Bruins. Wave sub for George Fox is Noah Marte, Donovan Cooks, and Matthew Sittler, the sophomore from Camas, making his first appearance on the court. So the 3 new players for the Bruins. It's Ken Higgins, Ali Efe-Ishik, Xavier Santana, Jacob Fotu, and Marcel Eli Kagare on the floor for Whitman. Cooks has the ball as Mako shouts the play in. Now taking Ken Higgins one-on-one. He spins, takes it to the hoop, misses the layup, but fouled. So Jacob Fotu called for his first personal foul. And number 5, Donovan Cooks, the junior from Dublin, California, a transfer to George Fox from San Francisco State, will shoot 2 free throws as he knocks down the first. Luke Johnson will check in for the Blues for the first time tonight, the first year from Bellevue, Washington. Luke Johnson listed at 6'2", 185. As Cooks misses his second, rebounded by Fotu. And it'll be Blues basketball. 20-13, the Blues trail by 7. As Johnson goes back out to Marcel. Marcel swings it to Ollie. Ollie to Ken. Ken down to Jacob with a bounce pass to Ollie. Nice dish down off the hardwood into the hands of Ali Efe-Ishik, who lays it in. Now has 8 of the Blues' 15 points so far in this one. Cook's running the offense. He'll hand the ball off to Schramm. Schramm goes back to Lawrence. Lawrence drives in, then kicks it out, swings around the top of the key. It goes to Marte, who knocks down his third 3 here in the first half. Correction, it's 2 threes and a long 2 for his 8 points. As the lead is now 8. Ken Higgins with the ball, dishes to Marcel. Marcel will take the 3 from the corner in front of the Bruins. No good, rebounded by Cooks. Cooks being guarded by Marcel. And Marcel called for the personal foul. That's his second. So George Lazarevic will check in for the Blues. Ryland Nelson, the freshman from Wenatchee, Washington, checks in for the first time for George Fox. As Cook's now being guarded by Ali F.A. Ishik, has his ball deflected by Lazarevic, who throws it up in the air. It's fielded by the Bruins, and then a three-pointer taken by Marte. He knocks it down again, as he's now up to 11 points already, with just about 10 minutes expired here in the first half. Luke Johnson goes over to Lazarevic, back to Johnson. Johnson will dish it down to Ali in the high post. He'll try and take it down himself, and he is fouled. And will go to the line for two. So Ryland Nelson comes onto the floor and immediately called for his first personal foul, sending F.A. Ishik back to the line.
And the line for Whitman shooting two, Ali F.A. Ishik.
The 6'4", 190-pound senior guard from Bursa, Turkey. Knocks down the first free throw, and we'll get some substitutions. As Jake Sentner will check in for George Fox. Bernard Desi checking in for Whitman. As F.A. Ishik's second free throw, no good. Rebounded by Sentner. As they outlet to Cooks. Cooks will bring the ball up. He hands off to Marte. Marte with a three-pointer from almost the Blues logo at half court, almost from the white volleyball line, and he drains it. And Marte is on fire here in the first half. 14 points already. As Luke Johnson takes the three, it's off the rim, no good. It'll go out of bounds, back to the Bruins. The story of this first half so far, Noah Marte, the junior from San Diego, already with 14 points. Has knocked down 4 threes. Being guarded closely right now by George Lazarevic as Donovan Cooks brings the ball up. And he'll get it to Marte, as Marte tried to go up with it, but has the ball knocked out of his hands into the open arms of Bernard Desi. Whitman takes the basketball back. Trying to get something going. Ali will toss it over to Ken Higgins. He goes inside to Desi. Desi across court to Luke Johnson, who fakes a three, then drives into the hoop and is fouled from behind. As Noah Marte tries to have a conversation with the official, but nothing doing there. So that's his second personal foul. And now Luke Johnson will go to the line for two. Number 22, Luke Johnson, the 6'2", 185-pound first year from Bellevue. Knocks down his first free throw. Entering the night, Luke, making his appearance in the 15th game, averages about 10 minutes a night, with about 2.4 points and 1.5 boards per game. Makes his second free throw to cut the deficit to 11, 29-18. George Fox leading this one early, behind the 19 of the 29 points from Cooks and Marte. Cooks with the ball currently. And then he'll dish it over to Sentner. Sentner back to Cooks, who will try and take it to the hoop. Spins. Tries to lay it up. And is fouled by the Blues number 21, Georgia Lazarevic, but called a foul before the attempted shot. As now Georgia will exit the game. Julian Witt comes onto the floor for the Blues. Marte also out for George Fox. The Bruins will inbound it, hauled in by Cooks. Cooks against Luke Johnson, lowers the shoulder, has this layup attempt deflected away by Desi into the arms of Julian Witt. Blues going back the other way. Pass from Witt, nearly intercepted, but gets to Ali F.A. Ishik, who has his floater rim in and out. Desi with the rebound, no good. Rebounded by Witt. Witt's attempt, no good. And finally, George Fox gets the ball without the Blues putting the ball in the hoop. Rebounded by Sentner. So now Cooks will hand off to Nache, who's going to try and take it to the hoop himself. Instead, he pulls the defense from Desi. It's kicked out to the corner, and Cooks knocks down the open three. and extends the George Fox lead to 14. Under 8 minutes left on the clock as Luke Johnson will go to Witt. Witt goes down into the high post to Ollie. Ollie to the low post for Bernard, where Desi is hooked and fouled trying to go up. So when we come back, Desi will be at the line for two. Whitman finds themselves in the early hole. It's George Fox 32, Whitman 18.
Sarah Marshall. I'm a senior politics and environmental studies major, and I work with the Career and Community Engagement Center as the student leader for community partnerships. It has provided me with a lot of opportunities to work collaboratively with a diverse range of people. So as I look to my post-grad plans, I'm thinking a lot about nonprofit work and community building, community organizing, and I don't think that any of that would have been the direction I would have chosen without having this hands-on experience.
George Fox currently leading the Whitman Blues 32-18. Noah Marte been the star early for the Bruins as he is 5 of 6 from the floor, 4 for 4 from beyond the arc, 14 points, does already have 2 personal fouls. Also has chipped in a steal. Donovan Cooks with 8 points of his own on 3 of 4 from the line and a three-pointer. As the two of them have 22 of the 32 points so far for the Bruins. But now at the line, number 18, Bernard Desi. And Bernard knocks down his third free throw. So in the early going, improving on his season-long 53% free throw percentage. He does miss that one as it's rebounded by number 11, Sidney Nache. So 32-19, it's a 13-point deficit for Whitman as the Bruins have the ball. Schramm is going to take it to the hole before trying to dish to Cooks. It does get to him after being deflected. Now Donovan will try to take it all the way around before he eventually gives it off to number 4. Strong defense there by Luke Johnson as the shot from the Bruins is no good. That was taken by Nico Cervantes. Ball back to the Blues. But not for long as it's taken away and going coast to coast. But missing the layup was number 11, Sidney Nache. Rebounded by Whitman. Xavier Santana brings the ball back up. And now it'll go back out to Luke Johnson, who will set up to run the offense. It's Johnson, Witt, Santana, Desi. As Bernard's shot is no good, but he knocks it out to Ollie F.A. Ishik, the 5th member on the floor. Nice bounce pass into Bernard, who will lay it in for 2. So F.A. Ishik, Witt, Johnson, Desi, and Santana on the floor for the Blues. It's Cooks, Schramm, Cervantes, Mitchell, and Sidney Nache on the floor for George Fox. As the three-pointer from Cooks was about halfway down but came back up, no good. Rebounded by the Bruins. As they kick it outside, it's Nico's first three-pointer. Cervantes no good. Rebounded by Whitman. Xavier Santana with the ball. Being picked up in the backcourt by Nache. Will bring it across and then lob it over to Johnson. He'll take it to his left before swinging back to Santana. Ollie F.A. Ishik at the free throw line. He'll take the inbounder. Kicks it out to Julian Witt, who goes back outside to Ollie. A little pass back and forth. Now Ollie takes the three. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded by the Bruins. Taking it the other way now is Nache. And he's going to try and drive it all the way himself. The athletic guard misses his layup, but it's rebounded by Schramm. Now a loose on the floor. Desi eventually puts his hands on it and maintains possession for the Blues. George Fox certainly using transition offense as a means to try and beat Whitman back on defense and score easy baskets, as that one goes through the legs of Desi, picked up by Schramm. Donovan Cooks with the bounce pass to Nashe, who makes a nice floater as he falls away, hits the deck, but the ball goes in and it extends the lead back out to 13. Johnson kicks it over to Witt, who goes down to Ali. F.A. Ishik's effort, good, as he's soft up on the glass and knocks it in. And a timeout is called by the Blues. With 4:47 left in the first half, it's George Fox 34, Whitman 23. Fans, don't forget, make sure to visit www.whitmanblues.com for all your up-to-date information on Whitman athletics, including current team schedules and student-athlete features. You can also follow Whitman Athletics on X, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So George Fox with some impressive shooting here early on in this one. They entered the game just 3-18 overall on the season, averaging 79 points per game. And so they've come out shooting well. They have had a few buckets get away from them. But Noah Marte in particular with a hot start for the Blues, just sort of looking to try and get something meaningful going and not fall too far behind. As we're back now, under 5 minutes. Marte back on the floor. New guys on the floor as Marte misses his first three-pointer of the day, rebounded by Jacob Fotu back on the floor. He's on the floor with Santana, Witt, Marcel checking back in as the layup by Santana is blocked but rebounded by Fotu. Fotu goes up and is fouled on the way up by number 24, Jamar Mitchell. Nope, correction, they're going to actually call it on number 2, Dre Lawrence. It's Marte, Williams, Lawrence, Luke Tobin, and Jamar Mitchell currently on the floor for George Fox. As Fotu comes to the line, he knocks down his first free throw attempt. Jacob Fotu entering the game, averaging 10 points and 4 rebounds a contest. A 53% free throw shooter, knocks it down and makes it a single-digit game. 34-25. As Marte had the ball being guarded by Santana, he whips it over into the corner where Williams has it. Williams goes down low to Mitchell. Mitchell kicks it back outside. Wide open three-pointer for Luke Tobin. And Tobin knocks it down. But after Luke Tobin knocks down the three-pointer in front of the Whitman bench, he turned and sort of gave a look at the bench and is hit with a technical foul. So the Blues will take free throws after Tobin is called with a technical foul. Well, before the free throws, though, we're going to have the media timeout. So with 3:58 left in the first half, it's George Fox 37, Whitman 25. We're going to step away this time here on Flow College. So coming out of the timeout, now we'll have the free throws for the technical foul as Marcel knocks down the first. One more to go. Marcel misses the second, so he goes 1 for 2. It's now an 11-point game. George Fox 37, Whitman 26. 3:58 left in the first half. The Bruins running through most of their roster already, having checked in at different points in the first half. So far shooting 44.8% from the field, including 40% from beyond the arc, as Jacob Fotu with the hook shot and has the shooter's touch as it rolls in for a bucket and cuts the deficit back to 9. Anthony Williams with the ball for the Bruins as he tries to dribble across and get past F.A. Ishik. He bounces it back in as he's bat out of bounds to Jamar Mitchell. Mitchell trying to battle with Jacob Fotu down in the post. Fotu holding his ground. The floater knocked down. Nice shot by Mitchell, the junior from Fort Collins, Colorado, with the bucket, his first points of the game. Bruins playing him full court as the ball gets across. Marcel to Fotu, Fote to F.A. Ishik, and Ali flings it up there and knocks it down for a bucket of his own. Marte, Williams, Mitchell, as the three-pointer knocked down again by Marte. Noah Marte now 5 of 6 from 3. He puts the lead back at 12 for the Bruins. Jacob Fotu finds himself wide open, so he'll take a couple steps and then try to throw the floater up. No good. Rebounded by Dre Lawrence, who pushes it in transition. Now Lawrence will slow it down and give it to Williams, telling everyone to get down as he picked up near the half-court line by Johnson. Number 22, Luke Johnson for the Blues. As the ball's now over with Williams. Williams pulls up in the middle of the key, no good. Rebounded by Whitman as Fotu taps it over to Eli Kagure. Sarp over to Marcel. Marcel to Jacob. Jacob tries to feed it back to Marcel, but the ball deflected by a Bruin out of bounds and will stay with Whitman. 4 new guys coming onto the floor for the Bruins. It'll be Dre Lawrence, Donovan Cook, Sidney Nashe, Jake Setner, the 4 new men out on the floor, along with Schramm. As Sarp is fouled by Schramm. And because now of the foul situation, that'll be 2 free throws for the Blues. And number 33, Sop Gokbert, the first year from Turkey, listed at 6'4", 178. As Jamar Mitchell will check in for Schramm. 42-30 with 1:40 left in the first half. And he misses the second, rebounded by the Bruins. Hauled down by Nashe, who's going to immediately try and take it all the way himself. He gets to about the free throw line before he kicks it out to the corner. Three-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Nashe, who tries to take it up himself and misses. Good defense by Fotu. And he can't hold on to the rebound. Rebounded by Santana, who now takes it the other way. For pulling up right at the three-point line, gives it to Sarp. Sarp back out to Santana to run the offense. He throws it to Ali, then cuts in. Ali F.A. Ishik being picked up by a couple guys. He dishes to Santana in the corner, who thought about the three before dribbling it in. Goes to F.A. Ishik. Ali trying to go up and has no luck doing so. Is fouled. It appeared by number 24. Nope. Called by number 2, Dre Lawrence, his second personal foul. And it'll send F.A. Ishik to the line for 2. So Ali will have a chance to go back to the line. Now 6 for 7 at the free throw line so far tonight, as Julian Witt will re-enter for Sarp. And the clock sits at 1:04. And F.A. Ishik makes it a 10-point game. Donovan Cooks, the junior, will take the ball up the floor. Under a minute now as they run the offense. Sentner is going to underhand to Williams. And before anything can happen, it actually was Nashe who got caught in between trying to shoot and pass and ended up traveling. So turnover by the Bruins, ball back to the Blues. This George Fox will bring a couple of guys up to play some full court defense. Santana will fling it over to F.A. Ishik, and the Blues now find themselves in a 3-on-3. F.A. Ishik thought about taking it to the hole, but will dribble back up before he hands it out to Santana, who steps out of bounds. Ball back to George Fox. Jamar Mitchell checks in for the Bruins for Nashe. Shot by Cooks, no good. Knocked away, rebounded by Witt. As the Blues trail by 10, now 30 seconds left in the first half. F.A. Ishik dribbles to his right, uses the screen by Fotu to try and take it down low, throws it up, no good, rebounded by the Bruins. And a timeout called by George Fox with 19.5 seconds left. Give George Fox an opportunity to draw up a play with the last possession, potentially, of the first half. And really, the biggest margin of victory here in the early going. The Bruins shooting 6 of 15 from beyond the arc. A little bit better than that now compared to the Blues, just 1 for 5 from three-point distance. Not significant of an advantage from deep, proven to be the difference here in the first half margin. So we'll see what the Bruins draw up to try and extend their lead before halftime. As Marte is back out on the floor. It's Marte, Sidney Nashe, Jamar Mitchell, Donovan Cooks, and Jake Sentner. Who will take the floor for the Bruins. Sentner's going to inbound. Blues playing the full court press as it goes to Cooks, being guarded by F.A. Ishik. As now Whitman drops back. Cooks just over half court, waiting for the last shot. Clock now down at 10, and now they start the offense. A screen being set, and it goes to Mitchell. Mitchell hands it back off to Cooks. Cooks running around him on the baseline, tries to pass it, runs out of space. Xavier Santana will fire it up, and no good off the glass. And that will bring us to halftime. The George Fox University Bruins 42, the Whitman College Blues 32. We're going to step away, and then we're going to have a tumbling performance by Skybound Tumbling, and then we'll do a quick second half recap before we get going. A first half recap before we get going in the second half. But again, it's 42 George Fox, 32 for the Blues. More basketball and a whole lot more heading your way from Flow College here in just a bit. Big shout out to Skybound Tumbling and Cheer for performing at halftime of both games here tonight. They do an excellent job. We love having them out here to entertain the crowd. The kids do just fantastic work, and again, just can't say enough good things about Skybound Tumbling. And so we look at halftime. It is the Whitman College Blues 32 trailing the George Fox University Bruins 42-32. The big difference in this game has been the play of number 0, Noah Marte for George Fox. The 6'2", 185-pound junior from San Diego, California, has been lights out from beyond the arc. He came in averaging 11.3 points per game, shooting 37% from three. Well, so far tonight against the Blues, he has got 17 points on 5 of 6 shooting from beyond the arc to already surpass his per-game average comfortably in the first half. He has 17 of the 42 points. Sidney Nache and Donovan Cooks have each added 8 points as well in leading attack for the Bruins. Meanwhile, on Whitman's side, number 9, the senior Aliefe Ishik, has really been responsible for carrying the load and responsibility offensively, scoring 15 points, most of those coming at the line, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, 4 of 8 from the field to get 15 points. Nobody else for the team is in double figures. Jacob Fotu with 6, Bernard Desi with 5, and then George Lazarevic, Luke Johnson, and Marcel Eli Cagare each adding a couple of points as well. George Fox also really capitalizing in transition with 10 points off of turnovers, including 14 fast break points. And it's the 10-4 point advantage there. They're really showing difference. For Whitman, they're just going to have to start shooting better and hope that Marte cools down in order to try and secure victory here. So we're going to step away for the second time. But first, we want to, again, provide our many thanks to the W Club for its support of our Whitman student athletes and athletic programs. The W Club exists to enhance excellence in varsity athletics and the student athlete experience, as well as help fund assistant coaches, international travel, and operating expenses. Head over to www.whitmanblues.com to make a donation or become a member. We're going to step away. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with the second half as Whitman trails 42-32. Just under a minute to go of halftime before we resume the second half. It's the George Fox University Bruins 42, the Whitman College Blues 45-32. Whitman trailing by 10 as we head into the second half. And again, I think when you're talking about keys to the second half, turnovers and limiting the transition baskets out of George Fox is going to be critical in being able to just slow down the relentless offense we've seen already and have for a long time with Coach Mako Hamilton. He has no problems going deep into the bench. He will run guys on and off the floor if someone starts to show that they might be even a little bit tired, as they want to keep pushing fast break. They want to keep pushing transition. So the Blues are going to have to work really hard to try and slow it down, but importantly not give away transition buckets if they want to stay in and have a shot at winning this game. So as we're just about ready to go to start the second half, the Blues running out Ken Higgins, George Lazarevic, Jacob Fotu, Ale Efe Ishik, and Marcel Eli Kagare to start the second half. For George Fox, it is Dre Lawrence, Donovan Cooks, Corey Schramm, Jake Sentner, as right off the bat, Donovan Cooks picks up where the team left off in the first half, knocking down the first shot of the half, a three-pointer, to make it 45-32. So it's Cooks, Nashe, Sentner, Schramm, and Dre Lawrence. As Jacob Fotu will pull up and take the three, he will knock it down and once again make it a 10-point game. Donovan Cooks bringing it up from the left side. Now he's going to try and go left to right, and Jacob Fotu looking to step up on defense with a little too much contact as he'll pick up the foul. So Jacob picks up his second personal. As we're officially back underway here in the second half. Donovan Cook's been sort of the do-it-all for this offense as he hands it off and then tries to get open. Quickly kicked over to the side. Three-pointer no good from Jake Sentner, rebounded by the Blues. Marcel will push it in transition. He goes to George to Fotu. Now Ali will take it to the hoop. Try and lay it in. It's blocked by Dre Lawrence, but out of bounds. Possession stays with Whitman. So we see both teams really trying to push the ball in transition to try and score some easy buckets, but it's been a little easier for the Bruins to do so than the Blues. As the ball inbounded, Ali thought about it, then stopped, pitches it out to George to Marcel, who knocks it down from the corner in front of his teammates and makes it a 7-point game. So the Blues have come out and hit 2 threes early going in the second half. Has a nice dish there to Schramm, allows for the easy lay-in. Whitman only made 1 3 in the entire first half, so already more in the second half. As now Higgins with the quick layup, but goes over the backboard. No good. Rebounded by the Bruins. It was Dre Lawrence with the rebound. They push it in transition, and a foul on number 13, Jake Sentner, will send the sophomore forward to the line for the Bruins. As Jacob Fotu now picks up his third personal for Whitman. So Jake Sentner listed at 6'5", 185, a sophomore from Flagstaff, Arizona. Will have his opportunity to try and push it back to a double-digit lead as he knocks down the first. Luke Johnson checks in for Ken Higgins. No subs yet from the Bruins, though those are inevitable. As Sentner's second free throw is a little firm, off the back of the rim, no good, rebounded by Efe Ishik. Johnson gets it over the half court, dishes to Marcel from Ali. Nice drive by Lazarevic as he uses shooter's touch, rolls it off the glass and knocks it down for a bucket. A nice play by Lazarevic, and he knew it too. As that time, good defense by Fotu going straight up against Cooks, forcing the miss, and the ball back in the hands of the Whitman Blues. Trailing by 8, but running the offense as Fotu, left alone, will pull up and drain the bucket from the corner of from the elbow and makes it a 6-point game. Marte heading to the table to check in for the first time in the second half as Schramm has the ball being guarded by Fotu. Schramm's going to try and go to work in the post. Fotu holding firm. They'll kick it back out now to Lawrence. Lawrence goes across court to Sentner, who will take the three. No good. Rebounded by Fotu. So a little bit of momentum swinging in the Blues' direction to open up the second half. They've cut the deficit down to 6. There's a dish from Fotu to Lazarevic. He goes back out to Johnson, who knocks down the three in the corner and will head to the line for a chance at one more. Fouls on Jake Sentner and a painful foul on the made three-pointer. As Marte will check in, as well Bernard Desi. And Luke Johnson will have his opportunity at a 4-point play. And Johnson, free throw is good, and it's now just a 2-point game. The Blues have come out playing much better early in the second half, quickly cutting the deficit to just 2 points. Cooks, however, with a little bit overzealous defense down in the post, is able to take advantage and get a quick lay-in to push it back out to 4. Correction, still at 2, 48-46. Bernard Desi pulls up and he knocks down the bucket, and we have a tie ball game, 48-48. Marte is going to try his hand for three, and that one's going to be no good. Misses a bit short. Rebounded by Lazarevic. And now Marcel to run the offense. Schramm anticipating, got a little aggressive, but nothing happened there. Ball goes back to Bernard and the high post. He's going to pull up and take the shot again. This one's no good. Rebounded by Marte for the Bruins. George Fox pushing it the other direction as Cooks thought about pulling up for three. Now near the NCAA logo on the floor. He's going to try and take it to the hole himself. Bounce pass to Schramm with a nice underneath reverse in for the two-pointer. So a back and forth second half, but the Blues have started to find a rhythm offensively. Running the offense through Fotu and Desi in the high post. Bernard this time goes to work against Schramm. Has his shot come up a bit short, no good. On the turnaround fadeaway. Rebounded by the Bruins. Marte with the ball. He kicks it to Sentner. Sentner's pass deflected out of bounds by Lazarevic. And we're going to have media timeout. 14:57 left in the contest. And the deficit has shrank for Whitman. 52 for George Fox, 48 for the Blues. We'll be back with more in just a minute. So the Whitman College Blues have cut their deficit to just 4 points. Here in the early parts of the second half, it was 42-32 at the half. But the Blues on a 16-10 run. have really picked up the offensive output here in the early parts of the second half. Now trail by 4. Cooks going to work. Marte setting the screen. Cooks pulls up for 3 against Marcel and knocks it down. Had good defense. There was a hand there, but he just was a better shooter on the occasion to make the lead back up to 7 for the Bruins. Johnson goes to Fotu. Fote to Lazarevic. He'll go to Marcel, who's going to take it up before giving it to Fotu. Shot no good. Rebounded by Marcel. And he's going to throw it back out to Johnson. Johnson goes to Sarp, who's checked in the game in the second half. Now goes up for Fotu. Fotu lays it in and has a chance at the three-point play. Foul called on number 5, Donovan Cooks. So Cooks picks up his first personal. And number 42, Jacob Fotu, will have a chance to complete the three-point play and make it a 4-point game. And certainly part of this early offensive benefit for the Blues has been the play of both Fotu and Desi, as both of the big men have done a nice job here in the first 5 minutes of the second half. Blues pressing a little bit on the inbound. Cooks does get the ball, being guarded all the way by Marcel. And Marte trying to get open. He's being guarded by Johnson. As Cooks stutter step pulls up, three-pointer no good, rebounded by the Blues. Fotu comes up with it. And Marte picks up a foul in the backcourt. And he knows that was probably one he didn't mean to do, as that's now his third personal foul. And Vanden Hurd will check in for Corey Schramm in this 4-point game. Fotu and Marcel dishing back and forth before getting it over the half-court line. Now down to Fotu. Jacob running the offense, layup to Marcel. Had his layup blocked from behind by number 24, Jamar Mitchell. The Blues thought it might have been goaltending, but not called. Now in transition, three-pointer no good by Nico Cervantes, who's checked in, but offensive rebound for the Bruins. Cervantes goes back out to Cooks. He'll dish it back out to Mitchell over in the corner. Three-pointer no good. And that'll be a dead ball rebound for the Blues. Bernard Desi's going to go check in, give Jacob Fotu a breather. As you certainly have felt the momentum swing here in this gym in Whitman's direction. But Fox continuing to do enough to maintain the two-possession advantage. Desi with the bounce pass into the key, then kicks it back out to Johnson, did Marcel. Luke Johnson finds the bottom of the net for 3, and it's just a 1-point game. It's a nice shot there from Luke Johnson. First year getting meaningful minutes and making an impact here in this one, as the handoff kicked over to Mitchell, takes a wide open 3 in the corner, and he buries that one to push the lead back out to 4. So back and forth we go between the Blues and the Bruins, as Marcel's going to try his own, and he buries the 3 coming up the court, and it's now back to a 1-point game. So in a first half where buckets were hard to come by, we have seen a totally different game here in the second half, as both teams are lighting up the scoreboard. It was 42-32 at the half, as that lay in good by number 12, Vanden Hurd, the junior from Happy Valley, Oregon, with his first basket. But at halftime, it was George Fox 42, Whitman 32. Whitman's 32. They've almost already doubled or met their first half score in the first 10 minutes of the second half, as we're going to have media timeout, 11:53 left in the game. 3-point game. It's a good one here in the Sherwood Center, as the Blues trailing by 3. So it was 42-32 at halftime. Just over 8 minutes have gone by in the second half. And the Bruins have scored 18 points. The Blues with 25 here already in the second half. So the offense has certainly picked up. And wasting no time, Marcel Eli Kagare hits the three coming out of the timeout, and this game is tied at 60. What a turn of events as the Blues have come out hot to start the second half and have put the pressure back on the Bruins to make something happen. Julian Witt playing defense knocked the shooter down. The Bruins were looking for the foul on Sidney Nache, as now a turnover in transition back to being a George Fox ball. Anthony Williams, Dre Lawrence, as that time a foul is called against Sidney Nache, so Nache will go to the line for two. Foul called against the Blues, number 14, Julian Witt. Just his first personal. So Sidney Nache will take a breather for a minute before taking his first free throw attempt. And he knocks it down. George Lazarevic will check in for the Blues. As the Bruins have retaken the lead. Off the rim, no good, but rebounded by the Bruins. And so now George Fox will reset the offense. Anthony Williams running point. It's Williams, Lawrence, Sentner on the floor. And before we have anything, we've got a foul. Foul called against George. So it's Williams, Lawrence, Schramm, Sentner, and Nache on the floor for the Bruins. Efe Ishik, Eli Kagare, Fotu, Witt, and Lazarevic on the floor for the Blues. 61-60, George Fox with a 1-point lead as Sentner with the three-pointer knocks it down in front of his teammates to extend the lead back out to 4. Good offensive set in the front half there from the Bruins. And you can see when Cooks comes off the floor, the team goes into a little bit more of a traditional half-court offense. As Fotu now looking, he bounced pass to Ollie to Witt. Witt back out to Marcel, who will take a couple steps in and then take pull-up jump shot, no good, off the front of the rim, rebound by Schramm. So Anthony Williams, the freshman from Lakewood, California, has his pass deflected and intercepted by the Blues. Now Whitman in transition. Julian Witt, layup no good. And ball out of bounds, last touched by Dre Lawrence, will stay with the Blues. 64-60 with 10:04 left in this contest. We look to be in for a good one all the way to the end. As Efe Ishik inbounds to Fotu. Jacob working against Schramm is going to take it up hard and puts it in with an opportunity for the and one. Donovan Cooks and Vanden Hurd heading back out onto the floor for the Bruins. For Sentner and Nache. So Fotu with an opportunity for one more. Jacob now with 16 points. This free throw puts him up to 17. Officially under 10 minutes to go. 9:56 and counting as the Blues trail by just one. Sentner underhands to Cooks. Cooks going to go back to Jake Sentner. Swung back out to the top of the key, taking it all the way to the hole. Off the rim, no good was Williams. Rebounded by the Bruins. Kicked out to Sentner, who takes the three at the top. No good. Rebounded by Lazarevic. Contact, but no call. As the ball goes back in transition. And George will get the offense going. Ali dishes to Jacob. It's knocked out of bounds by Dre Lawrence. Ball will remain with the Blues. As Trey McDonald III, the junior from Thousand Oaks, California, will check in. 14 seconds left on the shot clock, 9:20 to go in this 1-point game. Inbound caught by Fotu right up against the baseline. He'll dish it back out to Lazarevic, who goes back into the post. And a foul by number 12, Vanden Hurd, trying to deny the entry pass. So just his first personal, but now 5 team fouls on the Bruins, 5-4 Bruins versus the Blues in terms of foul count in the second half. Fotu kicks out to Lazarevic, who takes a stutter step to his left and takes the three-pointer. Hard, no good. Knocked out. And nobody over to make the save. Ball goes out of bounds in favor of the Bruins. So George Fox with a 1-point lead will take over possession. As Trey McDonald III will run the point. Jake Sentner, now Donovan Cooks has the ball with Vanden Hurd and Dre Lawrence also on the floor. Three-pointer from Cooks, and he knocks it down with a hand in his face to make it a 4-point game. F.A. Ishik passed over to Lazarevic, who began to drive towards the hoop and was fouled by Dre Lawrence. So Lawrence picks up his third. And we are on the verge of some free throws with fouls moving forward. As now Nico Cervantes, the junior from Chula Vista, will check in. As the ball will go down in the post to Fotu. Jacob dribbles before he kicks out to Witt. Witt with the three-pointer wide open, misses hard, tries to chase the rebound, no good. Down to the floor goes Sentner and Marcel. There's a tie-up on the floor, and the jump ball is the call, so the possession will be that of Whitman's. It'll also be a fresh 20 on the clock. So Ali will inbound. Fotu, Lazarevic, Eli Kagare, and Witt on the floor with him. Inbound to Fotu, who immediately takes the floater and knocks it down. Jacob Fotu, don't let you fool you. He's a shooter. The sophomore from New Zealand has the shooter's touch. The 6'6", 265-pound forward will hit those, especially with space. Sentner going around Witt, tries to take it to the hole before it gets dished back out. And now McDonald will underhand to Cooks, who almost lost the ball. Couple of hands on there. Dishes over to Sentner in the corner. His three-pointer that time no good, but offensive rebound gathered by Vanden Hurd. Ball goes back now to Nico Cervantes and then to Donovan Cooks. Marcel has had his plate full defensively guarding Cooks most of the night. Three-pointer no good, rebounded by the Blues. 2-point game, 67-65, as Ali F.A. Ishik brings the ball up, gives it to Fotu. Jacob stops at the three-point line, thought about it for a second, then gives it to Ali. Ali back to Fotu. Fotu with the reverse lay-in ties the game at 67. So we are all back even as the Blues have responded in the second half. Witt picks him up, bounce pass down, a good pass, no good though on the shot from Vanden Hurd. Rebound by the Blues. As Marcel will bring the ball up. Bounce pass to Fotu, Fotu out to F.A. Ishik. He's going to take the screen from Jacob, but then loses the ball as Cooks strips it from him. And a good pass the other way. Trey McDonald III will lay it in to re-give the Bruins the lead. This battle between Marcel and Donovan has been a good one all night. As Fotu this time is going to take the three. And I told you, he's got the shooter's touch. He knocks it down, nothing but net to give the Blues the lead at 70-69. The Blues have not led much in this one. But they pulled all the way back from the double-digit deficit as that layup's no good by Cooks, but off the hands of the Blues and out of bounds, so it'll stay with George Fox. We're ahead into a timeout. Whitman at 70, George Fox at 69. We should have a good finish on our hands here when we come back to George Ball Court, the Shorewood Center here on Flow College.
Sarah Marshall. I'm a senior politics and environmental studies major, and I work with the Career and Community Engagement Center as the student leader for community partnerships. It has provided me with a lot of opportunities to work collaboratively with a diverse range of people. So as I look to my post-grad plans, I'm thinking a lot about nonprofit work and community building, community organizing, and I don't think that any of that would have been the direction I would have chosen without having this hands-on experience.
George Fox, trailing by 1, will have the ball. 5:58 left in the contest. The Blues on a bit of a run here, especially in the second half. Have improved after shooting just 33% in the first half, have come back and shot 14 of 24, 58% from the field in the second half, including 7 of 9 from 3. Comparing that to the 5 of 15 from the Bruins, and you see where the Blues have made up the deficit here in the second half. It's now just a 1-point game as the ball goes off the hands of Cooks, but he does manage to save it as the shot clock ticks down to 10, being guarded by George Lazarevic, and George called with the foul. And I believe that's his 4th. It is. So Lazarevic will have to be careful with 5:45 left in this game. Luke Johnson, Bernard Desi, George Ali, and Julian Witt on the floor for the Blues. As the awesome reverse layup there from Donovan Cooks regains the lead for the Bruins. It's Cooks, Nache, Luke Tobin, Schramm, and Nico Cervantes on the floor for the Bruins as the ball will stay with the Blues. Had a little bit of incidental contact. Ball went off of their official. As now we've got a bit of a wave sub. Now Marte back on the floor for George Fox. So as ball goes over into the corner, Witt fakes the 3, then tries to bring it in. Bernard Desi back on the floor for the Blues. It's a turnover for Whitman, and the ball will head in the other direction as Ali eventually slowed down by Cooks. He was trying to take it all the way. Donovan picks up a screen from Mitchell, and they switch. And now Witt is on Cooks. Desi ready to help. But a foul is called. That'll send Cooks to the line. So the foul called on number 14, Julian Witt.
That's his second personal foul, 16 fouls. On the line for the Bruins, shooting 2, Noah Marte.
Number 0, Noah Marte, back on the floor as well. Donovan Cooks has himself 19 points, make that 20 points now in this one with 5:04 left. As Jacob Fotu and Marcel Eli Cagaray are going to check back in. As Cooks knocks down the second to make it a 3-point game. Five minutes to go in this one. The Blues down by 10 at the half have fought all the way back to make it a one-possession game. Jacob Fotu, a big part of that, has shot really well from the field in the second half, as that's a foul by Marte, drawn by F.A. Ishik. So that's now Marte's fourth. And he's chatting up the official, trying to say some combination of what did I do and wasn't me. Because now Marte will leave the floor. Dre Lawrence will come back in before Ali F.A. Ishik takes his free throws. 1-and-1 situation. Ali's first free throw, good. So he'll have a chance at a second. Ali up now to 16 points in the game. Jacob Fotu with the game-high 24. As Ali makes his second. And it's a 73-72 lead for the Bruins as Cooks gets the offense going. Now the ball's in the hands of Mitchell. Mitchell goes to Nache, who with the fadeaway knocks down the bucket to extend the lead back out to 3. So back and forth, the Blues did at one point get the lead at 70-69, but the Bruins back out in front again. As Fotu forcing Schramm to step out. Now goes to Johnson. Johnson with a nice feed to F.A. Ishik, who lays it in and cuts the lead back down to 1 for the Bruins. As Donovan Cooks walks the ball up, being guarded by Ali. Now Luke Johnson switches and takes over against 5. Cooks lost a handle for a second. Now I'll give it to Schramm. Schramm goes to the post before dishing out to a wide open and knocking it down, Sidney Nache, and makes it a 4-point game. So it's now 78-74 as the Blues get the ball across half court. Three-pointer from Marcel, and immediately Eli Kagare knocks it back down to make it a 1-point game. Every time it feels like George Fox is going to try and regain control of this game in the second half, the Blues have come up with the big shot to keep it close. 78-77. Now just 3 minutes and 8 seconds to remain in regulation. As the ball goes into Schramm, Fotu playing defense. He's trying to go up. No good. Rebounded by Johnson, who's going to wait for everyone to get past him before he makes his way up court. Gives it to Ali. Back to Johnson. Johnson goes to Marcel as they swing it back up top, trying to create some space. F.A. Ishik to Fotu. Fotu's floater, no good off the back of the rebound, and rebounded by Schramm. Cooks being picked up at half court by Marcel. And George Fox starting to try and chew out the clock and minimize the number of possessions left in this contest. Now Cook's going to try and take it to the hole, but stripped by Marcel, going the other way. The Blues in transition, looking for the lead. As Johnson goes to George into Fotu, back out to Johnson, over to Ali, being guarded by Mitchell. He's going to try and take him baseline, loses the handle, ball out of bounds, but stays with the Blues. We're going to go ahead and take this timeout, as I have a feeling we're going to have some stoppages that we'll stay with here in a little bit. 78 George Fox, 77 Whitman, 2:06 left in regulation. More basketball in just a minute on the Blues Sports Network from Full College.
My name is Kane Ryan. I am a junior biochemistry, biophysics, and molecular biology major, and I am a fish culture technician at the CTUIR's Muscle and Lamprey Lab. I think growing up in the Pacific Northwest, just being surrounded by so many streams and lakes and river systems, and never really knowing what was going on in there always got me really curious and interested in what was happening below the surface. Pacific lamprey and freshwater mussels aren't considered species of interest by most organizations. We have the opportunity to study these species in way more depth than anywhere else in the world.
It'll be Blues basketball with 2:06 left in the game. George Fox 78, Whitman 77. The Blues have ridden 80% shooting from three-pointer to come back down 10 and make this a one-point game late in the contest with a chance to go up here. Marcel with the inbound to Fotu. Fotu immediately takes the three. That's off the rim. Knocked away by F.A. Ishik and rebounded by Marcel. He's going to go back to Ali as now the Blues will get into their offensive set. Marcel being guarded by number 2, Dre Lawrence. Ball goes into Fotu. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. He slings it over to Lazarevic. George with the three-pointer off the rim, no good. Ball goes up in the air, rebounded by Lawrence. He's being trapped in the corner by the Blues defensively. Now he gets over to Cooks. Donovan Cooks will bring the ball up the floor, and George Fox calls a timeout as he gets over the half court. We'll go ahead and stay with you here this time. And want to remind you to be sure to head to the official team store for your favorite Whitman Athletics gear and accessories. Holiday sales from Valentine's Day tomorrow, President's Day on Monday, St. Patrick's Day. Doesn't matter the holiday. Sales can always await, so you want to make sure you shop now. Head over to www.whitmanblues.com and click on the store link and start shopping. So George Fox holding on to the 1-point lead have really seen a tale of two halves. In the first half, George Fox shot 41% from three, 42% from the field. They've actually shot a little bit better from the field, 46% in the second. But it's the Blues who, after shooting 8 of 24 from the field in the first half, have now shot 16 of 27 in the second. 59.3% from the field, including an 80% clip from beyond the arc, has been the difference for Whitman here in this second half. Also had been a note that Noah Marte, who really shined for the Bruins in the first half, has been in foul trouble and has not been on the court much here in the second. And I think the combination of the offense really relying on Cooks to kind of carry and shoulder that weight, alongside with Whitman's hot shooting in the second half, has really turned the momentum back in the Blues' favor. But as we know, when it comes to basketball, these last couple of minutes, anything can happen. Minute 34 left as George Fox will inbound the ball. Jamar Mitchell gets the ball to Cooks. Shram Marte also on the floor with them alongside, as being guarded by George Lazarevic. Now Schramm's going to come up and set a screen for Cooks. Cooks is going to underhand it to Mitchell. Mitchell with the three-pointer off the rim, no good. Rebound attempt is going to be flipped out and fielded by Cooks. And so going to the line, the Bruins will be shooting 1-1. The foul was on... Foul on number 22, Luke Johnson. So that's his first personal. But now the Blues into the bonus. So Donovan Cooks will have an opportunity to shoot at least one free throw. A second if he makes the first. And he does knock down the first and makes it a 2-point game. Now we'll get some subs for the Bruins, as Jake Sentner and Luke Tobin will come onto the floor, joining Schramm, Lawrence, and Cooks. As the second free throw rattles in and makes it a 3-point game with 1:13 left. F.A. Ishik inbounds to Marcel, who will bring it up the court. The ball goes to Fotu in the high post, being guarded by Schramm. Underhand to George, then sets a screen. Screen by Fotu. Ball in Ali's hands. He tries to take it to the hoop, then kicks it back out. Now Fotu on Tobin will try and fling it over to the corner, but the ball intercepted by Sentner. And the Bruins with a ball and a 3-point lead. Ball in the hands of Donovan Cooks. And we've got another timeout called by the Bruins. Again, as a reminder, fans, that both the men's and women's basketball teams for the Blues will play their regular season home finales tomorrow right here at the Sherwood Center. There's no seniors for the women's team, but the men's team will honor their 5 seniors in a special pregame ceremony. You can visit www.whitmanblues.com for game times, viewing options, and ticket information, as the Blues will take on the Lewis and Clark College River Otters, as that school has rebranded and now be referred to as the River Otters. Those games set to take place at 3 and 5 p.m. The Blues do conclude the regular season on the road this year, as both teams will be in action next weekend against the University of Puget Sound and Pacific Lutheran University in Tacoma. So with 40.6 seconds left, the Blues trailing by 3. George Fox ball. As Marte's checked back in, ball got to Cooks. 17 on the shot clock. About a 19-second difference between shot clock and game clock. As Cooks is going to run it all the way down. Now with 10 seconds to go, we'll get in the offense. Cooks is going to take it into the hoop himself. Then underhands to Schramm. Schramm goes to Marte, being guarded. And the ball is intercepted and into the hands of Luke Johnson. He's going to give the ball to Lazarevic. George A is going to take the three-pointer. No good. Rebounded by the Bruins. And now the Blues must foul, and they do. Marcel picks up his third personal. But now the Blues can feel the pressure. But first, we're going to have a timeout by the Blues to probably talk about what they do out of made free throws. It will be 1-1. There was no shooting foul on the play. But because it's 1-1, he has an opportunity, if he makes the first, to get a second. So Whitman had an opportunity to try and potentially make it a 1-point game or even tie it. But the three-pointer comes up short, and George Fox significantly improves their position with opportunity for a victory. It'll be number 11, Sydney Nache, who will go to the line for the Bruins. Sydney entering the year at a 66% free throw clip, makes the first and makes it a 2-possession game. And that's one that potentially hurts, as now the Blues find themselves down 4. Make it 5. As Luke Tobin, the sophomore from Honolulu, checks in for the Bruins. So at 13.9 seconds left, the Blues need something good. Down by 5. They get across half court and call a timeout. So it'll now be 11.6 seconds left. The Blues needed to draw something up for a quick basket. Are going to have to foul, hope a missed free throw or two, and then see if they can pull off something magical. We also want to make sure that our fans know and that we have an opportunity to provide our many thanks to the W Club for its support of Whitman student athletes and athletic programs. The W Club exists to enhance excellence in varsity athletics and the student-athlete experience, as well as help fund assistant coaches, international travel, and operating expenses. Head over to www.whitmanblues.com to make a donation or become a member. So, have to imagine that the Blues, in having to draw up a 3, the way he's been shooting, that Marcel is probably the hot hand that they'll try to find a way to get open. Could certainly try and maybe pull a surprise if you wanted to go to Fotu, because he's shot rather well as well in this second half. Lazarevic, always a threat to shoot, and you've got plenty of shooters on the floor for Whitman. We'll see what they're able to draw up. But as Marcel is going to inbound it, he'll be guarded by Luke Tobin. It's Tobin, Dre Lawrence, Corey Schramm, Jake Sentner, and Donovan Cooks on the floor for the Bruins. So they'll break open. It's quickly given to Fotu. Back to Marcel, who takes the deep three off the rim, no good, and can't be saved. 6.9 seconds left. The ball goes back to the Bruins. As Sidney Nache will come onto the floor. Sarp is going to check in for Jacob Fotu. Immediately on the inbound, Noah Marte is fouled. So with exactly 6 seconds left, Marte will go to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Blues are out of timeouts. Marte makes the first and makes it a 6-point game. Marte knocks down the second and will come out of the game as it's now a 7-point contest. And the George Fox Bruins, despite watching their 10-point lead at the half get erased, are going to find a way, it appears, to hold on in this one. Now 4 seconds. Marcel will huck it up from half court. Tipped in by Fotu to make it a 5-point game. But that will do it. The final score in this one, the George Fox University Bruins 84, the Whitman College Blues 79. And so the Bruins go on the road and manage to come out victorious, earning their 4th win this year, now 4-18 on the season, 3-10 in Northwest Conference play. Meanwhile, for the Blues, they will conclude their regular season home schedule tomorrow with Senior Day. The women will play at 3. Not a Senior Day for them, as they don't have any this year, but 5 seniors for this men's team, and they will conclude their work at home for the 2025-2026 season here tomorrow. But until then, that is going to do it for us here inside the Sherwood Athletic Center. Have a good night, and until next time, go Blues.